What a performance from that man, Carl. I'd like to ask you, and I'm not after timing here tonight, but if you were in Michael Conlan's position, would you have tried to fight against that man the way that Conlan did tonight? Are there any options?
I don't think there are options. I think that he puts you into positions that you don't want to be. Like,
moves his feet.
Yeah, in hindsight, if we said it would have been nice for Mick to stay on the outside and try and box this guy, but he was... When Mick was on the outside, this guy was in the centre of the ring and lunging in, jumping in and covering maybe.
And you don't win long championship fights by staying on the outside from the start.
No, you don't.
That against fast starters.
Absolutely.
You can't do that.
And this guy, he's such an effective fighter in what he does. Like, Mick was landing some decent shots here. No effect on him. I looked at his face just afterwards. He had a mark under his eye, and it was from a clash of heads. I mean, such a hard man, but Mick at stages was boxing brilliantly, and every time he done something really good, this guy just threw back. Look where them shots are coming from the back of the room.
Steve, the uppercut's something else, isn't it?
Listen, the big uppercut's a great shot, the big lunging uppercut, and the final uppercut was sublime. But, you know, Carl's absolutely right. He moves his feet, he makes you work. He was making Mick go flat out there, and the kid was throwing, compared to Mick's punches, the kid was working at about 5%, but he was making you work, tiring you out, catching, and he took some full-blooded shots, okay? Look at that finisher. He took full-blooded shots, Lopez. He did not flinch.
I said to Bunce after round one, this is going to be a hard night for Mick. And I mean, after round two, you'd have thought he'd done 10 rounds already. His face was a mess. That was a really clever, nice shot. And it was a planned shot. He didn't just throw it. He's a good fighter.
That's the key, what Carl said there, and that's really key. And that's one thing, don't be fooled by this guy crossing his legs, throwing big looping lefts, big looping rights. Don't be fooled by that. That shot there was beautifully timed and exquisitely executed. That was a quality shot. Any of the finest stylists in the world would be happy with finishing a guy with that type of shot.
As ebullient now as he was all week long, and in that extended delay before we got underway tonight, is his immediate objective of the current crop to become the #1 Mexican? Because that's the kind of thing that keeps these guys awake at night, Steve, isn't it?
Hey, listen, you know, the other two Mexicans who I would consider above him, they've got a bit more experience, they've been in with more world-class fighters. What a three-way that is. I tell you what, get rid of the other divisions, just have those three fight each other in a round robin. Who knows what we got? Who knows what we've got with this? Listen, I've got to be honest with you, this guy has stunned me tonight by how good he is. That's a transformed fighter.
You made the statement earlier on, he may not even be, he's a world champion, but he may not even be the best featherweight in Mexico.
He's third.
Yeah, but he could well be. I mean, he could beat the other two guys in front of him. He's an excellent fighter, but it just shows you the conveyor belt of unbelievable fighters that country produces, especially in the lower weight divisions.
And was that performance from Lopez tonight a step up on the one against Josh Warrington?
Yes, I think so.
In what respect?
The Warrington fight was close. I had it a little bit wider than Richie had. There was a couple of rounds where you could have given Mick, and there was an argument for them, but I give Mick one round in that fight. Lopez kind of looked good in the early stages against Warrington, and then Warrington came back and then won a few rounds. It was a close fight, but I think Lopez definitely won it. Tonight was an improved performance. Mick was. I'm not saying Mick is a better fighter than Josh Warrington. He's a more awkward fighter, a more difficult fighter to fight than Josh Warrington. But this kid made it look easy at times.
And Josh Warrington's a really good fighter. That was a flat-out Josh Warrington, making that a really tight and a really close fight. And if Mick Conlan doesn't get caught with that right uppercut, maybe it goes a few more rounds. Maybe he finds a bit of rhythm. But we need to point out, and Carl tapped on it straight away, the first answer Carl gave, is that trying to stay on the outside, using your skills, being slippery, that was never going to work against Lopez, because he doesn't do things in the conventional way. And sometimes we treat the expression unorthodox like the guy doesn't know how to stand up. No, it just means he's different.
Yeah.